Yo, much love. Welcome in here. Travis Wu, T Wizard, bringing you Modern Retreat to Coralhelm combo. Based on popular demand, we put out a vote, and this is what y'all said you wanted to see, so I made it happen, and this deck is super fun. It is also a headache. It's very difficult to work, this deck. Good mental workout, and I hope that by watching this video, watching me struggle through some of the tougher decisions, that you feel smarter from it as well. So, the core of this deck is Retreat to Coralhelm plus Knight of the Reliquary. It's complicated. Knight of the Reliquary, 3 mana 2/2, gets +1 for each land in the graveyard, and we can tap it and sack a forest or a plains to search for a land and put it on the battlefield. So with fetch lands, Knight by itself can come out as a 3 mana 4/4 and can sacrifice to grow more, sacrifice for mana, sacrifice to grab some special lands like Wolfrun, Gavany Township, Sajiri Steppe for protection. Just a good card on its own. Retreat to Coralhelm, 2 and a blue, landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under our control, choose one. We tap or untap a creature and scry one. Another versatile card, not quite as powerful, but the benefits of this are we can use it to make mana, untapping one of our mana dorks. We can use it with a fetch land to tap the opponents, or we can scry to figure out what we need. And when Retreat to Coralhelm and Knight of the Reliquary are combined, we have kind of a nice little combo here. Sack the Knight to get a forest, or sack a forest to get another forest. Retreat to Coralhelm untaps our Knight. Sack the forest to get another forest. Retreat to Coralhelm untaps our Knight, etc., etc., until our Knight grows humongous, and we finish them off with trample and protection. This requires some trickiness with the mana base. We need a good amount of forests and plains in the deck. We'd like to have a good amount of fetch lands. By the way, each fetch land can tap down a blocker and untap the Knight. And along the way, we tap each land for mana before we sacrifice it and feed that mana into Keswick Wolfrun. So we can get the Knight up to like 30 power trample if we need to. So that's the combo. To make the combo come together as much as possible, I'm playing Wargate, 4 of these. Search your library for a permanent card with converted mana cost X or less. So for 6 mana we get Knight, 6 mana we get Retreat to Coralhelm. It's very clunky, but it's really the only card that I know of that is certain to get either whichever we need. And when you win on the spot, or rather win on the next turn, it doesn't necessarily matter how clunky your combo is, how expensive it is. If you fall behind, we can win from almost any board, just come back and win. So I like Wargate here. And then I'm fitting the rest of it into a Bant shell that has a little bit of disruption. Path to Exile also works as ramp. Is this Rebecca Guai? Yeah, my favorite artist. Really cool art. Some counters, Remand Mana Leak, and then Serum Visions to dig, and then Mana Dorks. So I'm playing Lotus Cobra, works well with Knight of the Reliquary and the fetch lands. Birds of Paradise has flying, and Gavany Township works really well with these creatures. And finally Honored Hierarch, which is my pet card right now, and I think that I'm playing it over Noble Hierarch because I think that it's better ... to have $200 in my bank account. I don't know that Honored Hierarch is the best human druid for the job here, but it's cheap, and for me the alternative is Llanowar Elves, and Honored Hierarch is a more fun card that works really well with Gavany Township and gives us a different angle of attack. We don't have a ton of things to force it through, although Path Exile and Retreat to Coralhelm can both force it through, but it's not as big a deal in Modern because a lot of decks aren't as good at blocking. So that's the main deck. Really fun deck, really complicated because we can play kind of an aggro game at times, sometimes play the control game, and other times combo off and win. So the combo requires a lot of brain power and deciding which line to take. So for my sideboard, I'm playing everything as a one-of, and almost everything's a permanent. The reason why is we have 4 Wargates in the main. So if we have any kind of hoser, color hoser, archetype hoser, silver bullet, we should be able to find it with Wargate. right? Just having, for instance, one Blood Moon, we have 5 Blood Moons in the deck, right? So it's good to go really diverse with the deck like this. And this is the strong point of the deck as well, is we have Kataki and Stony Silence versus Infinity Robots, uh, Tron, Thalia versus Storm. Blood Moon just went flying, but Blood Moon versus Tron, other types of decks, Kira Great Glass Spinner against targeted removal, Kitchen Finks, and Scavenging Ooze value plays with life gained, Geist of Saint Traft, additional win condition, Torpor Orb versus Twin, Spellskite versus Various, Reclamation Sage and Quasi Pride Mage to blow up troublesome permanents, Meddling Mage versus specific combos. Then I have an Ancient Grudge and a Core Firewalker against Burn. So this is the deck. And the matches are very long. I hope you find them enjoyable. They were I'll describe them as epic. They're some of the best matches, not necessarily the best played, but some of the best matches that I've played in terms of thinking that I'm going to win or I'm going to lose, and then this happens and then that happens, and close game threes. So hope you find this enjoyable. Let me know what you think in the comments, and of course, let me know what other decks you want to see. Also, very dependent on your support. Much love to and from the Magic community on Patreon to be able to keep doing this. So, there's a link to that below, and there's some goodies I'm giving out. Magic for Good ebook, deck crafting processes is almost ready to go, and there's some other stuff, so check it out. Otherwise, your silent subscription, commenting, just viewing is much appreciated. So thank you, and let's get to the matches.